everyone, and welcome to Universal Treats with me, Thomas Johansson, here at Beacon of Light Radio. Today is again about angels, guides, masters, and loved ones. And we had a couple of shows about how to communicate with our support team, how to connect with them, and how to receive from them. And today is more about how to, or actually not how to, how they can assist us. In different ways they assist us and they help us with things, and how they show up and how it might look like when they work for us, when they present situations and people and place them right in front of us. Because we have been asking for guidance, for whatever, more of this, more of that, ask for information for this, for new opportunities, for new doorways and stuff like that. And that's where they jump right in, and they first of all move things out of the way that doesn't really complement or serve you when it comes to the new things that you have been asking for. So they first just do what they can to remove those things out of the way, and then they present and align the new things. So, and this is all unique and different for everyone, how it shows up and how you might perceive that, because we all, receive and take in information in different ways. It's all unique how, from the experience that we have had until this very day, and then how we collect and understand information. So one thing to know is that when you ask for something new to show up, it will show up, and it will show up in a way that is going to be placed right in front of you, but it's going to actually allow you to step out of your fixed routine, the mental pattern too. So that's just to remember that it will be different when you ask for something different. It will be different. So, but it's many ways that they can assist you, and that's also just by letting you feel how safe you actually are, how loved you are, and how supported you are, just by embracing you in their presence. So many people have told me about how they felt warmth, it felt like a hug, it felt the energy shifted in the room and all of that. And it's so unique how it shows up. And it's not that we have to try to recreate what anyone else have experienced, because that's many times we hear and we read stories and people tell, and even what I'm going to tell and share and present for you today, from my experience, it might never show up for you like that. So don't go and look for those things, because they will show up when they show up. You can't really control it. And that's beautiful too, but it's confusing because, I heard someone talk about angels and they experienced this, and why don't I experience that? But your angels are placing all these beautiful people in your way so you can connect with them, but you are looking for that experience that someone else told. So it's just going to take you out of your natural unfoldment. And again, this is not about making anything mental or hard work. And just before this show started, I had a beautiful talk with my beautiful producer, Charity. We were talking a little bit, and there was so much that both of us wanted to share, and about this and that things going on, and this and that. And it's always beautiful to connect together before and after the shows to really, just share things that has been going on and share clarity, and then remind each other of the simplicity of just being. And I said something first. She shared something that has been going on in her life. And after I shared something, how my perspective on that was. And then she said, "Oh my God, that was so profound." I don't remember what I said. And then right after that, she had an insight and said something else. And that was profound for me. And that was about that natural alignment of us, how we are naturally aligning with ourselves without hard work. And many times when we make it mental, when we want to be somewhere else, when we want to be further along, when we wish we had succeeded, when we, all of that, pushing and forcing and working hard for things to be in a specific way, that's not where we align with ourselves. That's not how the universe works at all. So it's so much more simple than that. It's actually stepping back and taking a breath and relaxing, feeling yourself, and that's where it all starts to align right there. When you wish, I don't feel connected, I don't feel aligned, I'm not connected and all of that, but you are always connected. The universe always works, but it doesn't work the way that you want it to work. And any experience you had before, you can toss that out of the window too, because you are evolving, you are expanding, and so are the universe. So it will always assist and show up in a way that can most contribute and complement to you and your life. So don't look for what have happened or what you think will happen or what someone else experienced. Those are just a reminder of how things can unfold beautifully when we don't expect it, when we are more relaxed and not in control. So just see how things open up, unfold, and align for you. And again, it's that simple thing called taking a breath or letting the body breathe, because it's breathing already. Paying attention to your breath and see what are you feeling right now? What are you aware of in your body? Just feel the breath, and as soon as you feel the breath, notice anything in the body. That's where you connect with your presence. That's where you connect with now. And that's why it's called the power of presence, because in the now, everything changes, shifts, expands, evolves. But it might not change exactly right now the way that you would like it to change or be different. But as you focus on your breath or just pay attention to your body, the thoughts just stop. And because you don't focus, you don't give them any attention, you don't give them any power. So that's where things are aligning. That's you aligning with you, and that's universe. The universe is always there to support and to align you and shift you into more of you. So there isn't anything to rush here, because you are already here, and that is enough. You don't need to do anything else or anything more right now to be more of you. There isn't anything you can do right now to shift you into more of you. The universe got your back, and your higher levels, your higher self, your higher state of consciousness is working on your behalf right now. So as you are feeling your body, go to your calf, feel the calf. What you feel right there, that's where your presence start to flow through, be more available. You open up to your body, to yourself, and the whole universe. And you open up and you let things start to flow. That's where you disconnect from the outside world, the struggles, the problems, the worries and the fears, and things can be presented to you with so much more clarity and ease when you take that breath. And in the beginning, it might be mental, like, okay, cool, I'm going to take time to take a breath and wait for things to unfold. And how are they not unfolding? But then as you become more used to just feeling your body and your presence, it starts to flow so much more, and you don't question, you don't doubt when things are being presented. And then what you have been asking for just boom shows up, even before you think you know, even before you even know that you need something, it shows up. Like an example is, I was actually guided to buy a new bag the other day, or a week ago, 2 weeks ago now. And I didn't do it. When it was naturally presenting to buy a new bag, I started to question that, but my bag is not broken yet. It's not even worn out. There is not a hole in my bag. Why should I buy a new bag? But I knew that there was a bag out there that was more, it was different colors. It was a bag that I would enjoy. And it's just a simple example of how things are presenting and how we question and doubt that. Anyway, I didn't. And it kept presenting for a few days, and I just didn't pay attention to the guidance. I didn't go and look for a bag. And boom, all of a sudden the zipper broke. And I couldn't close my bag. It was impossible. And it was not a thing that you could really repair on your own. Like, you had to change the zipper or buy a new bag. And there was a full bag. I managed to. It was not a huge disaster. I just thought, I laughed, and I was like, wow, that's why it was presenting. I didn't get upset, and I was like, wow, this is so great how things are presenting. So just before they break, and you are presented to go out and look for a new bag. And then you didn't have to worry about the zipper breaking in the first place, or you wouldn't have to, drop all your things in the street. I didn't, but it could have happened. And but that's one way of how our angels and guides are presenting us with more ease, with more things to enjoy. Show me what I would like to enjoy, because I don't know what I enjoy. I think I know what I enjoy, but please show me. And then things start to show up. And I'm talking about that too many times. But it's great to be reminded, and it's, how we can ask for these things, because we are here to enjoy, and they are here to assist us, the angels and the guides and the loved ones. And so the bag is just such a great example of how I was guided before I thought I needed a bag, and then I questioned it, and then I needed a new bag. So just when you're presented with those things, many people don't really know, okay, is this my mind or is it not? Sometimes it's both, but sometimes it presents like a mental image or an idea, and we think it's mental created, and then we don't go with it. But when it has that lightness to it, the clarity and the directness, it's very light when it presents. That's when you know that this is guidance and not mind made, because that's where it all starts to. You see, when my mind jumped in, it all started to tell stories and justify and doubt and tell evidence and all of that, and that's the mind. But our angel guides presents information with much more ease and with a clarity and a lightness and an openness. So that's how you know. And it's a practice how to follow that guidance and how to say yes to opportunities and doorways. And sometimes you will feel uncomfortable because you are breaking a pattern. So it, of course, will affect both your nervous system. Your mind doesn't really know what's going on or what's going to unfold because it's something different. And emotions might be triggered. So that's why you might feel uncomfortable when you are presented with new opportunities and doorways. But when it's presenting right in front of you, it is for you and you are ready. So why not just jump right through and ask for assistance? Show me here, I'm going to go through, but show me that everything is taken care of so I can relax and enjoy and be me, because I'm here to assist and to love and to be loved. So let's have a break here, and I'll be back soon after this break. Thank you for tuning in.
With your spirit guides and angels? Maybe you're looking to grow spiritually and learn about who you really are? Look no further. Brandy Baker is the guidance goddess. Listen and call in for mini readings live on the air. Friday mornings at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern. Only on Beacon of Light Radio.
Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and so does psychic medium Bob Brown. England's renowned paranormal investigator will explore the world of the unknown with special guests that will thrill and expand your mind. Tune in to Over the Rainbow with host Bob Brown every Wednesday and Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. in the UK, right here on Beacon of Light Radio.
Okay, I'm back, and you are back, and we are back here in this space to reconnect, to honor ourself, our divinity, our beautiful heart connectedness, and let's see a little bit how angels, guides, masters, and loved ones can assist us. It's so unique for everyone how they can assist us and how they actually show up, because it depends a little. It depends on how you function, how you most easily receive information, how you receive the outside world, how how connected you are with your inner world, so to speak. Are you more visual? Do you hear things? Do you smell things? It's all, they reach you through all these senses. So that's how they connect to you. But then how they can assist you is also another thing. And let's just say that back in 2009, I was given the beautiful job to create a 40-minute solo dance piece in front of a symphony orchestra in Sweden. And it was about Jesus and his last day, so during Easter time. And it was his last day before the crucifixion and the resurrection and all of that. And that was a part of it too. So I got this job, and it was like, wow, I had never choreographed something like that. And I just said yes, because it sounded fun. And it was just at that time when I was, opening up to the spirit world, so to speak, and started to work with all kinds of masters and angels and guides and all of that. And when I had, there was a beautiful conductor for this this orchestra, and he had actually done the piece before, the setup of music and how that was orchestrated and put together. So all the different songs, the classical pieces, had their own theme, and he was very specific about, okay, in this music, this and this happens, and no. And so that was it was beautiful, because I had so much support just from that being placed in, they gave me this job, but I had someone that was so specific on the pictures that I had to choreograph within each piece. So it was truly already set up for me to step right in, listen to the music, and then from the idea that he had made a small description out of, I just basically put steps together. But the funny part, when I meditated during this period, I had this hairy, long-haired man with beard, hanging around, and I was like, "Who are you?" And he showed me some temples, and he wanted to take me to the temples, and I was like, "Okay, let's go. And he showed me some hammers, and he had like a handyman clothes or carpenter clothes, and I was like, who is this guy? And I was just, see, more interested. I didn't really immediately listen to or ask him questions, because and that kind of shows a little bit how I used to function. Instead of asking questions, I just assume that I should understand everything. So sometimes when I don't understand or get it, I don't ask questions. I just so I was just there in meditation, and this long bearded and haired man showed up, and later I found out that was Jesus. But he didn't show himself as Jesus to begin with, because that would have gone to my head at that point. So I was more like curious, who is this hairy man? And it's so much fun to think back. It's quite humorous. But he showed me. I had a partner, a boyfriend at that time in France, long distance relationship, and I was going there every 4th week, and I was doing a lot of baton twirling and teaching. And I remember we went to the gym one day, and I had to choreograph this piece, and I started with the first piece, and I just played the music, and all of a sudden my body just started to move. Not from a script, but just it was like through my body I was shown, okay, the gesture of the hand, when, the piece about how Jesus was a teacher, how he was speaking and preaching and teaching kids and big crowds of people. And my body would start to move, and I would know exactly the angles of the fingers, and my body would just shape, and I didn't question, I didn't doubt, and I was just, wow, this is so cool. And I knew how to do, and it was like a huge space opened up, and it was energy and love just emanating from that, because it was not from the head at all. The head was basically saying, okay, cool, we have some movements, and I think it fits for the theme, so it's okay. But I just let it happen, and everything just flowed together. And I actually just had a couple of hours all together in a dance studio. And at that time too, I was traveling a lot teaching, and it was at the same time as the volcano on Iceland, with a big ash cloud that kind of stopped all the traffic, the airplane traffic, for I don't know how long, a couple of days or a week or something. So I had to travel far between Norway and Sweden, and I was just sitting on the bus all the time. And then when I arrived early in the morning or late at night, I went to the gym and I was teaching. And of course, at night I just went to bed because I was too tired. But during those long hours on the bus, I was actually choreographing in my head. I had a description, and I just listened to the music over and over again, and the pieces would fall together. I never one time questioned or doubted myself and the ability to put these together. And that was how strongly supported I was, because for much smaller things, like a 3-minute choreography that I had 1 year to choreograph and prepare with some baton twirling girls, sometimes I would freak out and be so stressed because it had to be perfect and it was not good. And here I was all by myself. I was being exposed in my work as a choreographer and a dancer. I was alone on stage, but there was never a doubt. And I was like, it just shows me today how supported I was from the masters, from the angels, from the support that was there. And that's how we are actually being supported, when you are willing to say yes to new opportunities, and how if you new doorways that might seem a little in the solar plexus, and the mind would say, oh, you're not prepared, you're not, you have to learn some more stuff before you can do this, or there's a lot of other people that are much better than you, so you will be judged. All of that, those voices, just if there is a doorway presenting, just walk through it, because one doorway opens up another. You never know where it will lead. So that's how they are presenting us with opportunities. Even if you are all closed down, they are still working for you. Even if you can't hear or see your angels or guides, they are hearing your questions and they are hearing your wonders, even if you put it in words or not for yourself. When you are alone and you are wondering, is this the way it's supposed to be? Why is it like this? It feels like everything is clogged up and closed in and closed down. Where am I in all of this? And we start a comparison game, or we close down completely. And then it's like they still can show you through the outside world different opportunities, place different people in the way, in your way. So that's how they work. But when you are all closed down and you're so focused on, just being shut down, of course it's more difficult for you to say, oh my God, here's the doorway, let's jump through, because your focus is not, open at that time. And that's not a bad thing, but that just shows us how much they are willing to offer and to support you and to give to you all the time, even when you are closed down. There's no way you can't really receive their help or assistance. Like they will always be there. The mind will come up with a lot of yes but this, but what about that? But they will always find a way to reach through to you by sending people, thoughts, ideas, sensations. They are there, they hear you, they see you, they sense you. They only want to lift and show you how beautiful you are and how loved you are. And it's such a beautiful thing. And this piece is just an example of how I choreographed this without having any time in the studio, but how everything fell together. All the pieces just came together. It was beautiful, and it was such an honor to dance and do this. And it was not only about me too. I put the things together, but then there were so many people assisting me in the whole process to bring this piece into reality. And another example is today. I walked after dance training. I walked and I was aware of a car that said a good cup of coffee, and I was judging, and I thought my immediate response to that was like, oh, coffee would be nice. But then the mind said, oh, you shouldn't drink coffee now. You probably, be better off with water and then coffee later. And it's like, what's that? What's that? Hey guys, what's going on here? And then I was, they made me aware of a different coffee shop, and I never saw it. I never went there. And I was like, oh, that looks nice. And I've been asking for more fun and more, enjoyable people to show up, both people that I can assist. If people are in the street, willing to have my assistance, let them show up and let them present for me, and I jump in and I assist. Or the other way, just let's have fun, whatever. And I almost went past that coffee shop, but I knew that I had to go there, so I finally went there. And it was so much fun just talking to the owner, and she was so good with food, and she talked about her food. And in the middle of a Russian beetroot soup, borscht, she was explaining a strong image of French garlic soup was presented to me. It kind of flew through her body, and that was presented from her crossed over father. And actually, I'm going to just have another break. So then I will finish this beautiful story that happened to me today, and how loved ones shows up, and how beautiful it is when we follow that, knowing that we are presented with. So stay tuned, and let's have a little break once more.
Welcome to Beacon of Light Radio, a guiding light in the storm of life. Do you want to connect with inspirational spiritual guests, Have fun while quenching your thirst for metaphysical teachings. Then set a reminder for Kimla and Company with host Kimla Dodds, international best-selling author, psychic medium, astrologer, and feng shui practitioner, every Thursday evening, 6 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Come be a part of the show by joining us in the chat room or calling in for support or a free reading. We are waiting for your light on Kimla and Company. Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, only on Beacon of Light Radio. And until then, may the angels protect you and guide you.
Welcome to Spiritual Soup with Jules and Wendy, where we mix together a pinch of magic, a dash of love, 3 drips of belief, sprinkling some laughter, and we share it with you. Each week, Jules and Wendy will share their experiences and insights about all things spiritual, magical, and mystical. Jules is a best-selling author, an international clairvoyant, medium, and spiritual life coach. Wendy is an international psychic and holistic practitioner whose specialties include Reiki Master, Crystal Practitioner, and Spiritual Advisor. Together, they form the Spiritual Soup Team. Join us Thursday evenings at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern to experience the magic of Spiritual Soup, only on Beacon of Light.
And I'm back here at Universal Treats, and you are listening to me, Thomas Johansson, as a host to this beautiful Universal Treats show, opening portals, opening your heart, opening my heart, connecting here on all levels here at Beacon of Light Radio with our beautiful producer, Charity. And the topic for today is angels, guides, masters, and loved ones. And I just reposted I have a Facebook site, Angelic Consciousness, and I post my shows there, and then I shared the post to my personal profile, and there was a previous client for me that commented on the share, and I had a session with her 1 year back or so, and she laughed and she said, now in the comment, "Hairy man Jesus, ha 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 ha," and applause. And then I remember a reading you gave me, and my reaction then was, "Wow, he's gorgeous." It just made me laugh because it's another time too we're talking about angels and guides, and sometimes they will kind of show up and in a way that kind of lights us up, and they will show up in different forms, in different ages, whatever. Some might say, see, let's talk about Jesus. Let's talk about you and me. Okay, so Jesus might show up as as he really looked at that time, bad breath and bad teeth and all of that, and not to talk about his hair, and but it's funny, it's humorous when we go there, because so many times we are giving so much power to them, and they don't want our power. They want to encourage us. They want to honor us. They want to lift us up above them, because they went and they walked here on earth, and now they're back to assist us to supersede our humanity and the so-called limitations of this reality, so we can really align with who we really are and our divine mastery. So so much has been said about the spiritual world, and if we go there, that it's a lot of fear, and my accent just changed. I don't know why that is. I just noticed, and I kind of lost it now. Yeah, that so much is being infused with fear and separation and don'ts and do's, that kind of leaves you more in a rule book of scarcity, because if you do this, that happens, and then it kind of takes you out of the ease of your divine mastery. Because what did the masters really show us? They said a lot, but what did they really show us? If you know, what were they presenting? What were they like? How would they carry themselves? They said a lot, and how do we know what they said? Yeah, it's written, but how do we know that those exact words? You know, sometimes we take it like word. We take it so exact that this is the way it has to be, and we make even what they said and shared, we make it so significant and even fearful and forceful and like a rule, instead of letting it open you up so you can, you know, enter your divine mastery, and your expression is unique to you. Your mastery is different, but it all comes down to love and how much we are willing to stand in our own presence, our own power, if you will, not to make it too much about I'm so powerful game, because the mind likes to go there, but to see how divine and beautiful you really are, and how easy it actually is to align with your divine self, to align with your mastery. But that's where we also have to be willing to let go of control. But they are here to remind us, to show us, and especially show us. You know, you can ask for opportunities, ask for people to show up, ask for things to change. If you are asking for change, or if you would like things to be different, just know that they will be different, and things will fall away and fall apart in front of your very eyes. People will act out, people will leave, people will bring up all kinds of stuff and project it at you. It can happen. Not to expect it out of fear that it would be such a horrible thing. But once you start to ask for assistance, things will have to change. Things will have to be different. It could be, as I'm presented to say, silly as, wow, I would love to go to the movies this week. You know, present me with a beautiful person, maybe a new friend or one of my existing friends, but I don't know who to connect with right now. So, you know, present me with a fun person that I could, you know, join with to go to the movie theater, or do something else, go out dancing, whatever. But if you then, after asking that, go back to your everyday routine and close down your focus again, and so strongly hold on to your everyday routine, if you have one. Most of us have some kind of routines. And if you're not willing to step out of that control, that's where it's not going to present and align as fast. And you might feel blocks, because you might even, and blocks, what are blocks? Many times blocks are things being triggered in us. So things are being triggered emotionally, and we experience that there is a bumpy ride or bumpy road when we can't really connect with others because we are triggered emotionally. So we are, you know, all walls and barriers up. So it's of course it's going to be bumpy. But you asked for something different. So, hey, let's move out all the gunk out of your system. So now you can be open and have more fun than ever, because you just asked for it. It's just such a simple thing. It doesn't necessarily happen that way, but just for you to be aware of that it can happen, that things come up and you feel uncomfortable because you just asked for something different for you. So that's where things will be cleared and moved out of the way, so different things can realign and align for you, so you can actually enjoy. At the same time you go about your day and you do all those beautiful things that you do, your work, whatever, and the other things can show up too. And for myself, I've been asking, you know, I wonder how it's like to truly love, to open my heart to myself, the love that I am, show me what that is, because I have been far off in other perceptions and ideas about what love is and what it should be. And, so what if I open up for that? And what I see now is that people are opening up to me. It's like, I don't do so much more different, but it's much more clearly presented when I give things. Like if I give away money, if I invite someone for something, or there is a greater joy in actually sharing the things that I have. I have less need to hold on to things and keep things for myself than I had before. And I also experience that people are opening up to me much more. It's like when they are around me or approach me, they are already like turned on. Might sound not in that way, but their light turns on and they open up and they shine, and they're more like, even more, let's call it positive when they approach me, even before I see them. So that's how things shows up for me. And when I asked about love and how that could be differently, how it really works. And then I'm more relaxed too, because I have been willing to let all the gunk come out of my system and actually see how much I've been taking on from the outside world. Because I've been taking on a lot. And not that it's significant in any way, but it was difficult for me to understand, like, what is me, what is going on, and all of that. And now there is much more ease in my body, and I see when I take on, and I can, clearly sense the difference. And then I know, the ease of laying down on the floor or sitting down, taking a breath and letting my higher levels do the work. That's what I started to talk about, like that natural alignment. So every time you feel clogged, stressed out, whatever, it's simply a sign that you are being too mental here, and you're being you try to drive the show and run the show and force things, instead of just taking a breath and letting yourself be cleared out, because there is obviously something that would like to just open up and leave. So with that, let's take another break. And today we have the marathon breaks here. It's breaks all the time. I love it. Let's have a break and realign with yourself. I'll be back soon.
Don't miss The Beacon with Jennifer Falah, the show that shines a light through the dark, educates, and empowers those searching for hope. Learn about the levels of heaven, how to positively create, and to meditate to build a stronger connection to the divine. Join Jennifer as she shares information acquired through communication with archangels, interdimensional meditation, and years of psychic experience and research. Tune in each Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern for this empowering show, only on beaconoflightradio.com.
There's a new show in town. We have phenomenal guests, and we talk about all the things you are not supposed to know about. You will hear about the real power of the mind, future science, spirituality, the universal success principles, and how to tap into the universal consciousness for knowledge, wisdom, and resources, time travel, and the nuts and the bolts of higher conscious thinking. We intend for this to be an international radio show and encourage people from every continent to call in, because between my co-host and myself we can communicate in many languages. Because of the vibration of the show, just by listening you will be raised to a higher level of consciousness. So come and join us in our mastermind group as we have created and explore the last frontier, the mind. So sit back, put your feet up, and allow for the strange, the unusual, and the understanding of the universal consciousness to come to you. And of course, we are talking about the Universal Consciousness Show with Diana and Agi.
Okay, welcome back to Universal Treats with me, Thomas Johansson, here at Beacon of Light Radio, and talking about the angels, guide, masters, and loved ones, how they can assist us, how they show up. And did I forget to talk about the coffee shop in the last break? I get all lost in this marathon race. It might be a good thing for me because it kind of keeps it, more to the point. Sometimes I just start flowing here and there. So let's go back to the coffee shop. I went to the coffee shop today and I felt strongly guided to go there, or drawn to, or it was more presented. Let's say we presented with an opportunity here. Okay, Thomas, you have been asking for this and that. Here's the opportunity. You've been asking for more fun, more openness, how you can assist, and how you can open up more. Let's go here. Oh, right. Then I went there and I started to talk to this. I think she was from Korea. This woman, and her dad was used to be a chef. They moved to London and they stayed there for I don't know how many years they stayed, but then she moved to Sweden, and then she moved to Norway, into Oslo, and she has her own coffee shop named after her dog, which is also crossed over or left the physical plane. And of course, I was going there to laugh. She was a beautiful woman. She had a lot of stuff that she, still a lot of heaviness and sorrow from her dad leaving and her dog. But she was still, so beautiful and wanting to connect with people, or naturally connecting from the heart. And I knew immediately when I went there, when I saw her and we started to talk, that okay, there is something with her father here going on. And I thought, I'm not going to play the mediumship game here because one thing I've said, that okay, if I'm ever going to do mediumship work, just to put a name on it, because it happens when it happens. But if that's something that I'm presented to do here in this physical world, let it unfold so naturally and so strongly and clearly that I don't have to go into a pretend or to a doubt or anything like that. Just let it flow naturally. So here I was with this beautiful woman having a chat, and we just had so much laughter. And in the middle of the beetroot soup that she was explaining, that strong image was presented from her father, the French onion soup. And when I said, what about the French onion soup? Do you like that? And she kind of backed up a few steps, and her eyes went boom, and she looked terrified for a moment. And I understood that, okay, I'm not gonna step right in here, because she's not she's a little resistant to go there. She was open for it, but still that's where we're at. So we continued to talk, and she started to talk about her father. So I talked again about the onion soup, and she said, my father used to do that, and I have never done it and not in the shop, because it takes a lot of preparation. So it was not something that she did. But her father was clearly presenting that he is inspiring her now, because she felt that she was never a good cook, because her father, her mother, and her sister were all great with food, and they were working as chefs somewhere. And she was not the one that worked with, or she was the one that were not working with food. So in that way, she was not cooking, and she didn't feel good that she was good at cooking, but she actually was. So anyway, everything just unfolded, and she started to talk more about her dad. And I asked her about her dad, and I said that, he was the one that presented the French onion soup, and he just want to let you know that he's there. He and she was aware of it, but she was not. She was insecure of how to receive it because he was sitting by her bed at night, and she knew that. Also, her crossed over dog was also there, and she knew that, but she wasn't really sure whether she could open up for that love because there was a lot of sorrow going on. So that's how many of us can actually perceive that we have our pets or we have our loved ones there, but once you open up to their love, it feels so overwhelming because all the pain and the hurt will just it's like you open up, and we could say that you open up a wound, but it's more like all the suppressed stuff is actually being reopened to actually leave your body and leave your system. So many times, that's why people many times cry when we have mediumship sessions, or even with angels and guides and stuff like that. It's because it feels overwhelming, but we're not used to be in such such openness and such state of flow that because we with our focus and with our mental game trying to run the show and control everything, we close the natural flow off. So it is beautiful once you start to invite them, and you can invite them at night or when you know that you are just relaxing and have time. And that's how I started. I was sitting alone in a house in Sweden, and I was just, hey, grandma and my aunt, I know you're there. Show yourself. And I was there in the sofa, and I was like relaxing and looking around. Where are you? Are you there? Are you there? It's quite hilarious how I first started and wanted to connect. But then they knew how to reach me because I was so wrapped up with my thoughts, wanting to perform and achieve things. So of course it was difficult for them to reach through at times. But I woke up in the middle of the night a few times, and my grandmother was sitting next to me. But then I would kind of go into a little, there is someone sitting next to my bed. So I was asking for it, but when it happened, that showed me too that, am I really ready to see them in physical form? And not many times they will even show up in physical form, or visual presenting themselves as a physical form. So many people are longing to actually see their angels, their guides, their loved ones in physical form. But you see, if you sit in your couch in front of the TV and all of a sudden a person would stand next to you, just tune into that for yourself. Would you kind of go into contraction and, oh my God, there is someone standing next to me? And that's the same way. Like if non-physical form would show themselves, sometimes we freak out because we think we are prepared, but we are not really, because they show up when we are relaxed, and that's where we at least expect it, because we are relaxed. So now they can come forth. So if you are wanting to see your guides, and don't put so much effort into that, there's many techniques and stuff you could use, and many people see them anyway or know how they look like, but they know how to reach you. So if you invite them in and then start to see how things start to change in your life, that's where you know that they actually work for you. And as I said, things will be different when you ask for help. For things, they will start to realign things. But one thing you can be sure of is that things will be moved out of the way. So there is a clear path, so now things can align for you for what you have asked. Whether that be, show me where I can just, watch a movie or whatever, something fun or a good cup of coffee. All of a sudden you will be asked to connect with someone in the street or go somewhere you haven't been. And if you then are all stubborn and wanting to do the same way, it's not going to be so easy for them. So yeah, the 2 last shows or 3 last shows was about deepening the connection to yourself and connecting with your guides and communicating with your guides. So you can go back in the archives and listen to the meditations that I did there. I won't do any meditations today because this show was more about, how in different ways they can assist us. And sometimes too, they give, like with the French onion soup, I was presented with a clear image. And as I saw it, it was very physical, coming from her, through her, presenting to me. And I knew immediately that it was French onion soup. So that's too, they use a language when it comes to symbols and the visual, they use a language that you know. So you can ask too for the communication to be clearer. Okay, guys, I want the communication to be clearer here because I'm a little doubting myself. So show me how I can just step out of my head and just be clear. And it's not that they will never get tired of actually assisting you because that's why they are here. And they will try it because when you receive them and when you achieve things and when you succeed in stepping into more of you and letting yourself be more loved and be more love and emanate more of your divine radiance, that's where they succeeded and that's where you lift them further too. Because you see, you are here they push you to be more than they were. And the reason why they seemed so brilliant at that time is also that at that time, this reality and this planet was so much more dense. And now it's much more open. The consciousness is completely different. The veil is so much thinner. There isn't any veil any longer soon. And the karmic grid system all collapsed way back. So we don't even need to worry about karma any longer. But if you're still running in your head about karma, that's the leftovers of what has been going on. So just drop the whole karma thing too. And just let yourself enjoy and truly express from the heart. And you will not be worried about creating or recreating karma because you really can't. That's the mind saying, aha, this happened just because you did or said this the other day. Now I created this. That's the mind playing the punishment game and the I'm so powerful game and I created this and look at me. So, all of that. But the whole karma thing doesn't really apply any longer unless you really hold on to it. And it's going to create problems in your body too. And it feels like I had to share that. So, not that you do anything wrong, but it's not necessary any longer. And, yeah, let's open up to the true divine mastery that we are here to be and play with, because it truly comes down to that. The ease of being you, to emanating, to walk your walk and walk out in the outside world and emanate that beautiful love. And your guides are beside you and invite them. Send them out in front of you. Every day you go out. Okay, guides, clear the road, please. Show me clearer. Okay, what's next? Show me. Okay, where do I go? How can I best assist? Make me an instrument here. Show me how to love and not to judge. What else is possible here? Okay, got it. Thank you. And then you just go with it or not. Just see how are things presenting to you and how does that communication with your guides work for you. But it's clear and it's direct, and usually many times it's fun to light you up, to lighten the load. There is no heaviness when you work with your guides. There is no emotions. Emotions might be cleared out of the way, but they don't relay and communicate in emotion. They go direct to the heart. It's openness and expansive. That's when you know, you feel it. It's open. It's, wow, that was clear. That was open. It was direct. It was, that's when you know. But then the mind comes in and creates heaviness and density and emotion around things, and doubt and fear. So the insights of openness and that brilliance, that lightness, that's when you know that this is something that you can trust and you can follow. And if you are unsure on how to follow it, or not sure in how to follow on that step, or follow through with the information you got, you say, thank you for the information, that feels amazing, show me. How do I use this information? Where do I go? Who do I connect with? Thank you. You ask for the next step. Once you receive, wow, thank you, this was beautiful. Wow, show me more. I'm willing to receive more now. And see how much more is being, aligned to show up and enrich in your life. And with those words, we're going to wrap up this show today. And I thank you so much for being a part of it and listening in. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I wish you all the best for the following week, and until next time we meet. And again, thank you so much love to all of you out there. Bye-bye.